And on top of that, there is the freaking unbelievably weird story about the president's longtime personal lawyer, Michael Cohen, which broke this morning in the Wall Street Journal. Did you see this? Did you see this today? I mean, one of the surreal things about this presidency is that no matter what else is going on, no matter what happens in any given day in the news, right? In the back of all of our minds, we all know somewhere that this president, whatever he's doing, good or bad, exciting or embarrassing, whatever it is, this president is also technically known as Individual One in a multiple felony criminal case that's about to send his longtime personal lawyer and business associate to federal prison for 3 years. The president is Individual One and was named as such by prosecutors when they brought charges against Cohen for having paid more than $250,000 in hush money to try to assure that two women wouldn't go public ahead of Election Day with their allegations that they had had affairs with the president. Of all the things this president has been accused of and associated with, those hush money payments to those two women seem so small, right? So tawdry and tabloid and dumb and embarrassing to talk about, right? It was almost hard to take the legal maneuvering around them as something potentially quite serious to the president and to the presidency. But Michael Cohen pled guilty to 2 campaign finance felonies because of those hush money payments. The president got that moniker, right? The president became Individual One. He is described by prosecutors as having been the person who conspired with Cohen to commit those felonies. They describe him as the person who directed the commission of those felonies and benefited from them. NBC News has reported that had the president not been president, with all the complications that implies for a potential felony prosecution of someone holding that office, had he not been serving as president of the United States at the time that felony case came ripe, he too would have been charged with felonies in the Cohen case. Well, now there's another one, as broken this morning by the Wall Street Journal, by Michael Rothfeld, Rob Barry, and Joe Palazzolo. Quote, in early 2015, a man who runs a small technology company showed up at Trump Tower to collect $50,000 for having helped Michael Cohen, then Donald Trump's personal lawyer, try to rig online polls in his boss's favor before the presidential campaign. Quote, in his Trump Organization office, Mr. Cohen surprised the man by giving him a blue Walmart bag containing between $12,000 and $13,000 in cash, and, randomly, a boxing glove that Mr. Cohen said had been worn by a Brazilian mixed martial arts fighter. The man in question then confirmed to the Wall Street Journal in an interview that he did do what he was paid to do. He did try, quote, to manipulate online polls in Trump's favor after he was directed to do so by Michael Cohen and promised $50,000 for his trouble, even though he only got paid $12,000 to $13,000 plus a glove. Because the news gods have a sense of humor, I should also tell you that the man currently serves as the chief information officer at Liberty University, which is the televangelist university founded by Jerry Falwell. Because who among us has not asked whose online poll Jesus would rig? And in exchange for a Walmart bag with a glove in it. This, again, is that perfect Trump-era crossover between I need to take a shower and I can't believe I have to read this for work. Right now we can update the cast of characters here. From the Playboy model being paid by David Pecker at the National Enquirer not to write a fitness column, and the charming and hilarious smart adult film star with a bombastic lawyer who was maybe going to run for president, to that cast of characters, we can now add the chief tech guy from Televangelist University who was moonlighting from the Jerry Falwell School by taking bags of cash and maybe boxing memorabilia as payment for trying to rig Drudge Report polls to get Trump to seem like a top-tier candidate. It's too stupid and dirty to care about, right? Instinctually, that is what you are feeling. But sometimes crime is small and dirty and boring and embarrassing. I mean, after the Wall Street Journal broke this story this morning, Michael Cohen said publicly online, quote, as for the Wall Street Journal article on poll rigging, what I did was at the direction of and for the sole benefit of Donald Trump. And embarrassing as this all is, if Donald Trump did know this was happening on his behalf, and if he did direct it, and if he did pay Michael Cohen $50,000 for this service, and Michael Cohen did turn around and pay this contractor a bag of dirty $2 bills for this service, plus a boxing glove, and this service was designed to increase Trump's perceived public standing so he would be seen as a credible presidential candidate, so this would help him in the election, then yeah, this is dirty and small and hilarious, but this is also in the same ballpark as the kind of felony campaign finance violation that is already sending Michael Cohen to federal prison for 3 years. He starts his sentence in a few weeks. And it is the kind of case for which the president has already earned the legal moniker individual number one. If this was an illegal campaign contribution, if this was an in-kind payment to aid the president's election that was not reported as such, that may not seem like the most important thing of this disgusting little story, but it may be the criminal part. And that question of whether the president was in on this, whether the president, as Michael Cohen says, knew about this and directed it, that may end up being a question of critical legal significance for the president and for the presidency. And Emily Jane Fox is going to break some news on that front here with us next.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.